What's up everybody, Migz here and welcome to the Deck Smiths. In today's video, as you guys read it, we'll be introducing to you guys Pokemon TCG. Before we get into this, just a little quick recap in terms of card games that we will be doing to the best of our abilities. This channel will always still and remain Dragon Ball Super until the day that Bandai shuts the door on the card game itself. And no, we won't quit on it because of how toxic the community is in terms of complaining about certain things that they want out, certain things that they want changed or whatnot. We play the game, we support it, we even support Bandai's decision on what they do, any updates, so on and so forth. Some of them may be stupid, some of them may be the right choices, some of them may be the bad choices. But at the end of the day, they do what they can to keep the game going. We do not feel that we should quit the game because nobody gets value out of them. You know, at the end of the day, they got to understand that this is not like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon where it's a guarantee you're making your money back. It's not like that with every card game. So that's something you have to keep in mind. This channel will always remain Dragon Ball. This channel, YouTube channel, and our Facebook page will be remaining with Dragon Ball. We are gonna try to. We have been successful in trying to push out a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, there's only 2 deck profiles so far, but we're gonna do our best to push out a little bit more with Yu-Gi-Oh. We're gonna try to think about actually putting a little bit more extras to our, maybe towards the Facebook page, depending on how well it goes. We're gonna be working with Pokemon, and of course, we cannot forget about Final Fantasy card games. But to be very fair, I'll be the one to say that I'm not sure how long that will be, but we're still gonna support something that we're gonna enjoy playing until we decide not to. Vanguard, we decided to drop because it was so much negative, so much negs, so much negative feels for ourselves in terms of interest in the game. So we kind of traded in off Vanguard to play Pokemon. So that's how we're all in the Pokemon scene now again. So with that said and done, let's get on to this. So, as you guys read, the deck profile will be focusing on our good old friends Giratina Garchomp. A really good card, and it's still good in this current format. Pretty much with a linear attack, you can hit any Pokemon on the opponent's side for 40 damage. And with the Calamitous Slash, you're able to hit the opponent for 160, but if the opponent has any damage counters, which is what the deck's focusing a lot on, you hit them for an extra 80 damage, making it a 240 damage, almost guaranteed one-hit KO anything. Since this also has some Psychics, we are going to run the lineups of the 4/4 Malamars. We're just going to drop this one right up here real quick. Yeah, I should have thought about that a little bit earlier. But for our Malamars, we got a Psychic Recharge which lets you attach a Psychic Energy from your drop area, from your discard pile to your bench, to one of your bench Pokemons. And this normally is not used for an attack, but if the opponent likes to snipe certain cards, it's always good to have it with other things like, say, Spell Tag. 2 Giratinas. Some decks run 3. I prefer 2 because, yes, it is a Pokemon that can hit for 130, decent attack, but the Shadow Impact also lets you you have to put a 4 damage on one of your Pokemons. But the useful things about it, which I'll also get back to, before the attack, if it's in your discard pile, you can put them onto your bench from the discard, and you could put 1 damage counter on 2 of the opponent's Pokemon. So it helps set up really good. Excuse me. For my build, I'm running 2 Mesfrit. only because of the first contact. You can search your deck for 3 basics and you can put them onto your bench. So this is really good to set up 2 Inkays and a Mew, which I'll get to the Mew in a little bit. This is actually supposed to be the Jirachis. To look at the top 5 first for an item card, but until then, Mesford is actually working well. And of course, like I mentioned earlier with Mew, just one Mew, because once you have this card in bench, it's hard for your opponent to snipe your bench, which is basically what some decks will do when it comes to sniping Pokemon. They'll want to hit your bench or any attack that says, oh, do this much to a bench Pokemon. Mew just says no. Next up, little secret techs. You gotta have your little secret techs in your deck. I got 1 Deoxys, Espeon Deoxys for the Psychic Club. It's pretty decent. You know, 10 plus 30 for each Psychic you have in bench. And then, of course, you could put 10 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. And if this Pokemon has at least 3 extra energies attached to it, it put 20 more. You put 20 damage counters instead. So instead of 10, it's 20. That's literally almost a KO to anything, or sets up to KO anything, which is pretty good. And nextly out of the text, 1 Mewtwo Mew. Now I know it's pretty much one of those cards where everybody's running it, but I like Mewtwo because Mewtwo is the one reason why I really got into the Pokemon in general. I'll say this right now, I am not a Pikachu fan. I want that rat bird. I know it's a mascot, but no, I can't. Not me. That adorable face does not work on me. But Mewtwo also helps because it can copy a GX attack in the bench or in the discard pile. So it's really, really handy. And it's still a Pokemon that is not easily one-hit KO'd. That's it for all the Pokemons that I'm running. Of course, for draw power, I have the 4 Cynthias, which is also helpful. Shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 6. 4 Lilies, which you draw until you have 6, and if it's your first turn, you draw until you have 8, which is really, really good. I'm currently running 3 Tata Lisa. I don't have catchers because I'm not gonna drop the money for it at the moment, but I will get it in time. But at the moment, this does come helpful. You know, you choose one, you either shuffle your hand and then draw 5, or it becomes a switch. So it's really handy. 1 Erica's Hospitality. You really only gotta run 1. You know, you draw a card for each of your opponent's Pokemon in play, but you can only play this if you have 4 or less cards in your hand. So that's another thing on top of that. 4 Pokemon Communications. Of course, you shuffle one of your Pokemons back into your deck. You reveal 1 Pokemon from your hand, shuffle it into the deck, and you can search for a Pokemon of your choice. It's really, really good. I'll drop that right up here. Sorry on that little glare over there. Also, another searcher for this deck, mainly for everything. 4 Mysterious Treasures. You could drop a card from hand and search for a Psychic or a Dragon. Very handy because you can search for anything. 3 switches, because you always want to at least guarantee you have a switch. At the moment, if I do ever get any extra, once I do have custom catchers, I will remove these 3 and 1 switch to add them. I do plan on running 4. 2 reset stamps. I kind of want to over exaggerate it with 3, but 2 is always good sometimes. You always never want to give your opponent a chance to shuffle their hand all the time. But your opponent shuffles their hand into the deck and draw equal to the number of prizes. And that's pretty busted for a card that is an item card, which is dumb. 2 spell tags. You mainly want to have it on some of your Pokemons, like certain Pokemon, so that way, you know, they think twice before KOing that. When a Psychic Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage of an attack, you put 4 damage counters on your opponent Pokemon in any way you like. So it's pretty good. So let's just light that over right here. last but not least, out of the trainers, you gotta have your little stadiums. I got 3 Viridian Forests. I've been trying to work around trying to fit a 4th one, but so far 3 has been working just fine. Once during either player's turn, that player's turn, you can shuffle, you can drop 1 card from your hand, and you can search for an energy and add it to your hand. It's pretty good. Last but not least, to finish it off for the energies, I'm running 12 energies, 8 psychics, and 4 fighting energies. Fighting energies are just for the Giratinas itself. And of course, you got the psychics because everything needs the psychic energies you need to be able to attack. So that way you can always recover your energies. I know a lot of players usually have less than that. But I am the type of player who want to ensure an even number, and I want to have enough to have energies in my hand and not just a small amount and then pray that I get it, even though if I have Viridian Forces. Yes, opponents do also play Viridian Forces as well, and I can use their Viridian Forces, but at times, like other decks, they will swap out their stadium cards, and if I really need to get some of the energies ASAP, you know, it's gonna really hurt me. So that's pretty much it what I'm working with. Of course, this deck will be updated as it progresses. Some cards will make changes, some will be going out, some will be going in. This is something that I've been enjoying playing with since I came back into the game. Of course, now, since I presented this deck profile, Raiden is probably going to be right behind me with a deck profile, followed by Reeves. Yes, you guys heard it. Reeves is also in this. So, that is it for today on this edition of Pokemon for deck profile. Let me know what you guys think. Sorry that it took a while, but some of the announcement needed to get out the way. So, take care, guys. This is Migz of the Decksmiths signing out. Peace out, guys.